don't want to miss any of my future videos, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to turn on push notifications so you get notified for every video I post. Alright, we are back looking at Baldi Basics. If you read the title of this video before clicking on it, you probably already know that I have done a test video back in June of 2021, almost a year old at this point, and it's time for an update. As the test, we've got a lot more information about it, and just like last time, I have Carolina Elevators on the phone. Go ahead and say hi.
Hey guys.
Yep, we got him. Alright, so we actually have a couple last seed was like if we had one or two characters missing, but I can definitely tell you that we had one of those two missing. So I've also noticed, and we've also discovered, that you need to spin around to get them to spawn. You can actually sometimes see him outside the detention room. Oh, and we got Mrs. Palm. She's one of the characters. Did he spawn?
The test will spawn in that exact same area.
Just
Speaking
reminding
Mrs.
you
Palm,
to be at my
there she
class
is.
in 2 minutes.
Where is her flippin'? Where's her class? There it is.
Check your map to see where.
As a side note, the test has now been spawned.
Do you see him?
No, but I know that since you walked away, he should be spawned now. Whenever you walk away, he spawns.
Class dismissed.
Alright, see if we can get down. Darn it, Cloudy had to go that way. Yeah, the test should be around this hallway. Yep, there he is. He's right there.
What do you know? Yep, that's the exact location.
Wow. So we have a pump and test level. So
That's kind of a rare occurrence.
Actually, it's been starting to become a bit more common. The last couple times I've played, I haven't really seen the test whatsoever. But yeah, if you open the door and you have to, before you look away from the test, if you're inside of a room, you have to make sure that the door is closed of the room you're in, so that way the test will not activate or trigger. But yeah, we have Mrs. Pomp and Baldi both and Tess both eliminated. And there's something else I want to show you. Remember how in the last test video, how I said that he shuts the lights off, or I think Liam said that. I don't know, but Liam, do you want to say what we discovered about him?
What part of it?
Like where the fact that he blinds the player instead of shuts off the lights, and how we discovered that.
Yeah. So I discovered this after playing Baldi's Basics for a while.
0,
But test
9,
procedure.
8.
But
7,
as I said,
6,
whenever you
5,
look at the test,
4,
everything
3,
will freeze,
2,
but
1.
no harm will be done. However, if the test is in your line of sight and you look away, then he will basically teleport right to you, blind you, and you won't be able to see. Now, if it's on a long hallway, it is possible that he will move down the hall, but not enough to get and sneak up onto you. But that does show that actually, he's moving very quickly and trying to blind you. And when he blinds you, his head for some reason pops out, and then you can't see. But if you actually look at him, this will never happen. But you need to make sure that you know where the test is. Because if you don't, then it's gonna start to become a problem. And if Gotta Sweep is on the level, that doesn't help either, because Gotta Sweep and even Cloudy can push around the test. But you need to remember the precise location of where the test is, just so you know where to look. Because this can actually help you. This freeze effect can help you. Let's say the principal's coming after you and he sees you, you run into the test, and you're on a long hallway. You can go back down the hallway, and the principal will be way further, and you can try to run away from him. So the test can technically help you, but you just need to know what you're doing and do it correctly.
Correcto. Another thing I want to show off is that if we go out and we let him blind you, he actually doesn't spawn in the exact same spot. Did we mention that in the last test video? I can't remember. And I think
What?
I just ate my destiny bar.
There's that walkie dude. Oh, Cloudy's on this level.
Yeah, he's not on the detention room wall, and it's a rare occurrence. But here's something else I want to show you. You see how he just has his head down. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
it actually looks kind of weird. But now we have to wait for 2 minutes, and then the lights will come on.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, especially the music. That's also a bit annoying too. And also, when the text is not on the wall, the reason for that is because there can only be up to 5 characters on the wall. Baldi and Principal are the reason that this is true. Because when Baldi or Principal is on the wall, they are basically just taking up a character slot because we know they're there. But when you can only hold up to 5 characters, this becomes an issue. If you're on floor 2, and both Baldi and Principal are on the wall, there is one missing character that is in the level but not displayed on the detention room wall. However, if it's on floor 3, if one of the two, Baldi or Principal, is on the wall, there'd be one missing character, and if there is both, there are 2. And in this rare level, Mrs. Pomp and the test are both missing from the wall. Principal's inside of the desk. It's always been that way. And party ended. But yeah, now we have to take the long wait of just waiting through the darkness.
Actually, I'll probably tap it on my editing.
Exactly.
Up, the lights are back on. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna spin around, and now I'm going to show you that if we go out this door, the test is not here.
This is where things get interesting, because after the first test cycle is done, he will appear in a different location. I don't remember if it's different for each time, but I do remember that he will spawn in a different location the next time he's around. However, he is around. It's not a one-time thing. So clearly, he is still on the level, somewhere.
You just need to find him again.
Now keep in mind that the test will only spawn on hallways. And most of them tend to be longer hallways. He can appear on skinnier hallways, but that's never really the best benefit. The reason it's not the best benefit is because, as I mentioned earlier, if you've been paying attention, if you're on a longer hallway, there's the test.
Yeah, like
when you're on a longer hallway, you can make use of it.
Yeah, like right here. This is not a good spot in front of the test procedure door.
Test procedure doors suck. And if the test is behind one like this, that's not good. Especially for the fact that he is on a dead end. And if you don't see this dead end coming, you're gonna get caught.
Unless, of course, his head hasn't gone up yet.
Exactly.
Because apparently, if we come close to him, I don't want to shut the lights off again, because who knows where he's gonna spawn next time. But another key thing is, sometimes he will spawn near his original location. Like if I zoom in on the map, I don't remember. Yeah, right, like that. This is where he originally spawned, right outside of the detention room. Now he's spawned over here, so he's not too far from his original location. He's right here. So
It's always random, however.
yeah, it's always random, but the point I'm trying to make is the second time usually spawns near his second location. But sometimes he can spawn like way down here, kind of far from his original location. But this school is not that big, so it doesn't really matter. But the second or third time, he usually spawns very far from his second location, from what I've discovered. But remember, it's all random, so you never know what can happen.
Yeah, randomness sucks, and this is one of those cases. But another thing to predict if the test is on a level are the characters and assets from the previous levels. This is a topic that isn't always
Just
100%
reminding you to be
true,
in my
but
class
from our
in
observations,
2 minutes.
it's still something to
Check
keep
your
in mind
map
for
to see where my
possibility's
class is.
sakes.
Justin?
Yeah, like here, we're gonna have to get ready to look at him again, like that. You gotta slide by him. Hopefully.
Yeah, always remember where he is.
Gotta sweep is a nuisance when the test is around. I don't think he's on this level, but yeah,
He is not.
He's not on this level. But if he is on the level, he can be a big problem. Gotta sweep can be a big troublemaker if he's on the level. Even worse than Cloudicopter. Because Cloudicopter will still move the test, but gotta sweep is the main troublemaker when it comes to the test.
There's another topic on the test that I want to mention, and it's about predicting when the test will be on the level. It's not 100% accurate, but you should pay attention to some of the assets and objects in the earlier levels to take into consideration for the later levels. This is something that we've been doing for a long time, seeing which characters have been common on levels with the test.
And like, can you list all of the elements that we've seen, like doors and stuff?
Yeah, so it's not always a guarantee that these are going to be happening, but there's still something to keep in mind. For example, on levels 1 and 2, you're going to want to keep in mind of some of the characters. There are a lot of characters that you need to watch out for, like Cloudicopter, Gotta Sweep, Beans. Some of them are characters that tend to appear on test levels. Some of them, however, are specifically for level 2 and up. Because Playtime and Mrs. Pomp only appear specifically starting on level 2. They can also appear on level 3, but that's something that, well, it's either common or not. I don't really know what the odds are. However, if a specific character for the second level, for example, Playtime, appears on level 2, it's more sus for the test. The reasoning for this is because there's less characters that the game is able to pick. Because Playtime and Mrs. Pomp both start on level 2 at the very lowest. So if one of them are on the second level, you need to be careful and cautious about that.
Yeah, very, 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 very good point. Because, as Liam already said, the game starts to run out of characters to put on the third level. So then, therefore, would you consider the bully sus? Because I've seen him on test levels quite a bit. Actually, he's right there.
The bully, I guess, somewhat.
No bullying
But
in the
I am
hall.
not a big fan of there being things like outdoors or libraries or cafeterias. That's another thing that I want to get onto. It seems that on level 3, it seems like cafeterias have been our worst yet for looking for the test levels. If the level has a cafeteria, most likely it seems that the test has appeared on a lot of levels with cafeteria on the 3rd level. There can also appear a library on the 3rd level. The test can still appear, but from what I've seen, it's been a lot less likely.
Also, twisty hallways.
I don't like them.
How would you
But
rate them for suspicions?
Actually pretty suspicious, because twisty hallways is a thing that the tests can sometimes seem to like. But then also, you need to also take in consideration
Just
that
reminding you to
things
be
like
at my
cafeteria.
class in
Oh, wow,
2
Mrs.
minutes. Check your map.
Mrs. Pop, you interrupted the video. But anyway, something a bit interesting is that on 0.3 of Baldi's Basics, for some reason, cafeterias won't appear on level 2. I'm not sure why it was programmed like this, but that's something to keep in mind, that only outdoors, or playgrounds, if you want to consider it that. Playgrounds or libraries can appear on the 2nd level. Cafeterias appear on levels 1 and 3. Outdoors appears on levels 1, 2, and 3, so they can appear on all of them.
Libraries only 2 and 3 though.
Yeah, libraries do not appear on the 1st level. And events also only appear on level 3. Well, most of them, not all of them. Things like the gravity event will appear on level 2, possibly. But there are some events that are levels 3 specifics, like the test procedure. Because if you see a door that looks like a test procedure door on level 2, it's controlled by a button.
For the most part, anyway. In the older versions of Baldi's Basics, I have seen test procedure doors starting on level 1. Anything else you want to add?
I really don't have much else to add. I feel like I've kind of listed most of the things that are pretty necessary.
Oh, looking for his arm. That's another thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I guess that's true.
Bones, and 90-degree doors, quarter doors, and those sort of things.
And also, if you are really a big test seeker, always check detention. But yeah, you do want to keep around and take a look at hallways, but not look around the entire way, because he will only activate if you see his face. And as a side note, if you actually get to see the test through a window, he won't activate. And also, if you look away from the test while in a window, he also won't do anything.
Or if you look at him while the test procedure door is going down, he probably won't do anything. Oh, another thing you need to bring up, Liam, is the phones and the 90-degree doors, that sort of thing. Like how much... Okay, AVG, please stop. I heard the bully go, I'm bored. But also, is there anything else you want to talk about, like other suspicious elements and how you would rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 and what characters you think are sus?
Say that one more time, I didn't catch that.
Characters from sus levels top to bottom. Oh, and remember the levels without Gotta Sleep or Cloudy Copter? I don't remember if we got that in the first test video or not.
What about Cloudy Copter? How he moves the test?
Cloudy Copter and Gotta Sleep. Like if they're not on the level. Like if they're both not there.
Oh, that's a problem, actually, that I forgot about. Yeah, if they're both not on the level, well, here's the weird part. It's a higher possibility that they'll appear on the 3rd level, but if they're not on the 3rd level, it has a much higher possibility that the test is going to be around.
What about Arts and Crafters? How would you rate him?
Well, Arts and Crafters doesn't seem to be too much of a hassle as of late, I really haven't seen much trouble with him. So, honestly, I don't think he's that sus.
But sometimes he can be sus. And I'm actually and welcome to a new day, because for those who are watching today, Friday, 12:01 a.m., as I'm recording this video, happy Good Friday to all of you. I forgot to mention.
Oh yeah, happy Good Friday to everybody.
But I do not want to see anything related to the resurrection of our Savior. I do not want to see any comments about that.
Yeah.
That goes
However,
under the line of religious, and I don't like religious in my comment sections because it can spark drama.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, something that Yoshi recently figured out in his test searching is that
if you sometimes
seed numbers.
The seed is even, but I'm actually gonna go ahead and flip my screen, because Carolina and I have been doing for quite a while. We have been collecting test seeds and writing them down in a notepad. I am actually going to show you that notepad.
There's a ton of seeds there.
Yeah, there's a lot of seeds here. All of which we have discovered the test, some of which I gotta take off. Some of them are in question for us to search. But all of these seeds have the test, except for the ones in question that we haven't looked through yet. Mrs. Pond.
Yeah, there's a lot. Come on, it's actual insanity. Like we have probably collected 100 seeds or something like that. So
probably have, but if you look at a lot of these seeds, a lot of them have odd numbers, usually ranging from 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. They usually end in odd numbers.
And when we mean that, we mean the last number of the seed. Because the last number of the seed, if it's odd, that for some reason is starting to tend to be that way. And also, if you see a seed that is marked MP, that means that Mrs. Pop and the test are in the same level.
Yep, we got that right. But honestly, I think, oh yeah, 90-degree doors as well. Those are actually more of a suspicious element, and the test usually tends to hide around the 90-degree doors if he's around.
That's a true story as well.
I've seen levels that have more than one 90-degree door, and some with multiple 90-degree doors.
Also, I want to make a quick side note about the notepad. That there's a few of these seeds, I think, that have a couple of which that have actually came from videos that I found from certain YouTubers. For example, Seed 99. That was actually by a video by Witherskull 8842. Hello.
I'm hiding from Mrs. Pom because I don't want to go to another one of her classes. But what I was trying to say was that another place the test likes to hang out. He likes to hang around the big area, like around the cafeteria, around the library. He might be in a hallway near the library, or he might be in a hallway that goes around the library, or something like that. It varies, but usually he's around the big areas.
If you guys really don't understand what a quote-unquote big area for us is, basically what we mean is take a normal hallway, for example.
I'm not talking about those big areas. I'm talking about like the cafeteria, the library, the outside.
Oh, those big areas?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I get what you mean. Because
he tends to hang around those. But a big area, he also likes to spawn in big areas near skinny hallways like this that look weird. But you see, this is what I would consider a big area. You see how the hallway is a bit wider than they usually are? Let me see if there's a better example in the school. No, there's not. But I have seen levels that have big areas than this, and he likes to spawn around the big areas. He usually spawns in a corner in the big areas. He usually doesn't take up the whole big area. So yeah, that's that. But anyways, do you think we covered it all? Oh yeah, we want to run down the characters, right?
Yeah, that's something we should do.
Do you want to do that? This video is already going to be long enough anyway. But do you want to run down the characters, Liam?
Like the sus characters?
Yeah, from 1 to 10 on a suspicion scale.
Okay. So, I'll start off with arts and crafters. Well, to be honest, from at least my perspective of things, it hasn't been too bad. He hasn't appeared on most levels, so I'm gonna give that a 2 out of 10. Because I don't know why, but for some reason, I can't seem to find a test level with arts and crafters. I'll also next bring up Beans. Well, to be honest with you, Beans is kind of so-so from what I've seen. It seems to be like sometimes it's there and sometimes it isn't. I'm gonna give Beans 5 out of 10 because Beans has always been so-so with the test seeds. Next, I might as well also bring up Gotta Sweep and Cloudy Copter. I want to bring both of these into one because they both are very sus characters. It seems that Gotta Sweep and Cloudy Copter have been seeming to appear on most of these levels. And I don't know why, but apparently they just like making it harder because since Gotta Sweep and Cloudy Copter can push the test around, it just makes things even worse in the end. So, to be honest with you, I'm going to give these guys, these bad boys are getting a 9 out of 10.
What about when they're
Because-
not there? Not there on level 3. How would you rate that?
Oh yeah, if they're not there, then I'll probably also give that about an 8 out of 10 because Cloudy Copter and Gotta Sweep not being on a level can also mean a recipe for disaster. But the next character I am going to also bring up probably is Playtime. Because Playtime is a character that really just, it's rare. You see, getting a test seed with Playtime or Mrs. Pomp is a little different. Because these characters appear on level 2 only. So it's less likely that you'll find the test on the 3rd level. Well, sometimes. And other times, well, maybe it's a bit more sus. But it depends on the ways you look at it. Because first off, it's a little difficult to actually get that character to be on level 2 sometimes. And have the test on level 3. Which puts the odds pretty low. But when you consider that there's less characters to pick from, the jump from level 2 to level 3 makes the sus higher. So, because of these two combinations, I think I'll give Playtime a 6 out of 10 and Mrs. Pomp a 5.5 out of 10. Just because I feel like these guys are kind of just so-so with how it works, and it can be a bit confusing when you really look at it. So, yeah.
No running in the halls.
The bully,
Detention for you.
is a character that,
Just
well,
reminding
is
you
on
to
the
be at
level
my
that you're looking at
classes.
right now.
2
The
minutes.
bully is
Your
a pretty
map
tricky
to see where
character
my
indeed.
class is.
Because again, I feel like the bully has just been kind of a so-so character for test levels. But at the same time, it can happen. But I feel like I find it to be a little more so-so than something like Playtime. I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10. Because I feel like that's what it should get. Another character I want to bring up is First Prize. First Prize can end up on the 1st level. So that's probably a bit one that's a little more easy to rank. First Prize has been ending up on these levels somewhat for me lately. But before this time, it didn't feel like it. So it's been another so-so character that's been a little hard to rank up. But I want to give First Prize a 4.5 out of 10. Just because First Prize has just been tricky. And another character I should bring up is Chuckles. Chuckles, for me, has not been in many test levels for me. It's been kind of tricky. I don't know why it's like this, but for some reason, he just seems to be a little less common. So, I'll give Chuckles a 2.5 out of 10 because for some reason, I'm just having so much trouble finding him.
The bully. Do you rank him yet?
I did rank the bully. But I think I'm pretty much done with every character that I need to rank. I just did playtime, arts and crafters, bully, first prize, got a sweep, cloudy, chockles, beans, and Mrs. Pop.
Yeah, we got them all, I think. But anyway,
Yeah, we
I'm
got 'em
gonna
all.
head out of this elevator right now. And I know this was a long video, so because we had a lot to cover, but hopefully this will be one of the last test videos we have to make for a little bit, and then we'll probably have to make another one when the next Baldi version comes out, as we're gonna have some new major updates. So anyway, happy Good Friday. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I will see you all in my next video.
If you liked this video, please check out the 2 other videos I left from my channel, and if you want to support the channel more, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe bell. Thanks for watching.